Putting a sunflower button on your tumbler wrap means you need a chain loop to close that up. Let me show you how. So I want to sew a button to the very center of the handle opening right here on this side or that side, it doesn't matter. Then we'll crochet a loop so that it comes around that button, and I am choosing a sunflower button. I have some adorable sunflower ribbon, and I think that will be so cute to put on the handle or the side of the tumbler. And this particular button has a shank on it, and this is the shank portion right here. I'm going to make sure the shank portion, the shank, is positioned so that the yarn will come around the shank, and the shank is this direction. All right, now I need to mark the center, and I want the button to be positioned so that it is away from the handle a little bit so that it can be seen. I don't want it on the edge. I want it back this way. Now let me see. Is that the center? You can just eyeball it. I believe that's the center. I'm going to stick a pin right there so that I can keep track. All right, so I have a needle that has been threaded. It's a double strand and has a knot in the end. So the position that I had the button in, I'm just going to go ahead and take a stitch in the yarn. But before I pull that all the way through, I'm going to run my needle through the double strand so that makes it a little bit more secure. Thread will sometimes pull through on yarn, so you can lose your ability to attach and the button will come off. So let me go ahead and start by putting my button on my needle and then pushing the needle down to the back of the wrap to make sure the button is in the place that I want it to be in, and it's a little too far down. I don't like that at all. There we go. I adjusted that. That looks better. Now I'm going to hold this in place, and I'm going to go from the back, go through the shank to the back. I really am not picky about how I get this job done. I just want the button to be in place. Now if you're using a flat back button that does see, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm putting my needle through, putting it through the shank and then back through. If you have a flat back button, you can make a shank with thread. All right, let me put my needle through again. And I have already made a video on how to make a thread shank. See, there it is. It's pretty secure. Doesn't need to be, it's pretty secure. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this off. I have a video that I have already made that will tell you how and show you how to make a shank on a flat back button. I'm not going to show that to you here because I've already made the button. There's no need in doing that again. So let me clip that off. Now we need to get the crochet hook. Let's take a look at that first. I like that. I may have put that over too far. We'll find out. So where is my pin? My pin is right here. I want to put my pin directly across from the button. So I'm going to put my pin right here. The button is on this row, so I'm going to put my pin on the row directly across. I'll attach the yarn right here, crochet a loop that goes around and bring it back and attach here and then weave in the ends. Let me get my crochet hook. Okay, so I'm ready to get started. I have my crochet hook. I'm going to go ahead and insert my crochet hook and remove that pin so that I don't stick myself with it. Now here's the yarn. Okay, so I'm going to pull the yarn through. So now that I've pulled the yarn through, this is my waist tail or tail, I'm going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3. I'll speed up the camera. All right, I have 16. Let's see how that's going to fit. Let's go across to the sunflower button. I believe that is going to be good. We need a little bit of give because it's going to fit snugly around the tumbler. Let me go ahead and join with a slip stitch over here right beside. I'm not going to fasten anything off. I want to try it on my tumbler, but I am going to cut the yarn. I'm going to cut a generous tail, and that way if I need to make any adjustments, I can. Let me go ahead and bring this over. I'm going to unwrap it. I'll need to make sure I tie those yarn tails when I get finished here to secure them. And then I'm going to join in a slip stitch right beside the other end of the loop. There's my slip stitch. All right, I'm going to leave a long loop there. Okay, let's try this on the tumbler. Okay, so I have the tumbler, and this is the bottom of the tumbler. You can tell by this little edge, and this is the top. So we put the wrap on the tumbler and then shimmy it up like a sock. Let me get my yarn tails out of the way. I don't want to pull anything loose. And then pull this up over. Get it in place. Now, let's check. Let's get those yarn tails out of the place. Let's check. We might need to make this a little bit longer. Let's see here. I think we need to add a couple more stitches. I don't like how it's pulling right there. Let's do that. Okay, so I went off camera. I added 3 more chains, and I think I'm going to add 1 more. It needs to have 20 chains. Now, your loops may need to be longer. They may need to be shorter. It depends on where you put the button. But is this not cute? This is just one cute way of embellishing your tumbler wrap. There are many ways to embellish your tumbler wrap. Now all I have to do is secure and weave in those ends, and I'm finished. What an adorable treatment to your crocheted tumbler wrap. Add a leather tag or a faux leather tag, a cute sunflower bow, and you have something that is so nice that you can gift to a friend. It was good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon. Bye.